Hello and welcome to the video Vort. I am so privileged and honored to be sharing a message with you. And the key message of Judaism, as you know, is love your friend as much as you love yourself. Now here's a very, very important teaching. The Baal Shem Tov says every positive command has a corresponding negative, something that we shouldn't do. So for example, it says in the Torah, obviously this only applies to Jews, to keep kosher. It also tells Jews don't eat not kosher. So the command to love your friend as yourself also has a flip side. And the flip side is do not hate. Now, we have been brought up in a very, very, very foolish kind of psychological premise. And it really boils down to what used to be the Nike ad. It said, if you feel like it, just do it. In other words, people were sick and tired of being told there's good and bad. They said, I just want to do whatever I want to do. And we have our society today where everyone's doing whatever they want to do. And people have never been as depressed, as suicidal, as we see clearly, quite amazingly, in the most prosperous societies, the rates of depression and suicide are so high. Because there is such a thing as that which is good for you and that which is bad for you. And if you do what's good for you, then you'll feel good. And you do what's bad for you, you'll feel bad. And primarily, this all boils down to two emotions. Because if you have the emotion of love in your heart, you'll feel loving and you'll feel good. And this is one of the great secrets of life. You know, everybody is looking for love. And the irony is, what are we really looking for? You know, if somebody else loves you, how do you feel that love? You feel it in your heart. It's just the feeling, basically. Let's be perfectly honest. What do people want? They want to feel good. Well, how do you feel good? Well, love feels good. So why do I have to wait for someone to love me to feel that? I can start loving them and I'll feel that same way. And you see this very clearly with a mother or a father to their child. There's no question that usually the parents love the children much more than the children love the parents. And yet, that love didn't come from the child. That was a love that the parents give to the child. So if you want to feel good in life, you don't need somebody else to love you. You can just start by seeing the good in others, seeing how, as we've spoken, how we're all one soul in many bodies, how you relate to everyone, and that itself creates that you love. And once you love, you'll feel good. But the main point is there's a flip side. Many, many people are caught in the cycle of resentment and hate. And you can't both love and hate something. Love is an emotion that moves you forward. So for example, if I say to you, here's a beautiful chicken soup, would you like some? You say, yeah, please. So I say, okay, go to the pot and take some. Okay, so you have this emotion of love for the chicken soup. You want to go to the pot. You're willing to, and you're going to go. I say, oh, by the way, somebody put in a little vial of poison. So now you have fear. So you go back, you go away from the pot. Let's say I'm going to say, by the way, that pot, if somebody doesn't shut off the fire, what's going to happen is it's going to spill over and damage your stove. Oh, so now you want to go shut off the fire. So in other words, we're talking about three emotions here. You have the drive to eat it, to take it into you. You have the drive to stay away from it, fear. And then you have the drive of anger, which is destruction. Okay? Or another example would be, I would say, well, if you don't turn off that pot, it's going to explode. And then or let's say another example might be, let's say there's a bomb. Unfortunately in Israel, you have these Arab terrorists. They often place bombs and it's called a suspicious package. So the government comes, have this little robot, and they blow up the bomb. So why are you blowing up the bomb? What do you care about the bomb? Well, you don't want it to hurt anyone. So that emotion of hate is an emotion of destruction. And so therefore, when we have in our heart a feeling of resentment and anger, it drives us insane because our natural desire is to love people, to unite with people. But resentment says, get back at that person, take that person down. They did something to me that was wrong, and I'm going to get them back for that. It justifies itself. So in summary, as important, if not more important than it is to love, it is to not hate, which obviously comes from forgiveness, seeing the good and the bad, making an excuse. Maybe this person had a bad day. Maybe they thought I was their mother and they hated their mother for something, so they got confused, which usually is what happens. They make wrong associations. And anyway, bottom line is, if you can forgive and forget, then you truly have the capacity to love, and your own heart will be pure and happy. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.